Democrats say Chairman Gruenberg was not aware of the deep-seated cultural issues at the FDIC until it was revealed by public reporting. When Chairman McWilliams took over at the FDIC, she immediately saw the cultural issues that were prevalent at the agency. Chairman McWilliams came to the FDIC with a goal to know the issues faced by employees and took time to ride the shuttle to the Arlington and DC campuses, eat lunch in the cafeteria, had an open-door policy to hear employees' concerns. Through her outreach to employees, Chairman McWilliams noted that the toxic culture at the FDIC was readily apparent, and she began initiatives to improve the agency. Within the first 3 months of her tenure, Chairman McWilliams received a letter from anonymous African-American employees outlining a series of discriminatory acts at the FDIC. Chairman McWilliams worked with the employee resource groups and her staff to form employee-driven initiatives to fix the issues highlighted in the letter. And so, when I look at this situation, some of my colleagues seem to believe that the report did a disservice to the FDIC because it focused only on the bad stories about Chairman Gruenberg, and they believe the report downplayed these same concerns under prior chairman. Mr. Kim and Ms. Menu, as part of your investigation, did you review workplace culture under prior chairman of the FDIC other than Chairman Gruenberg?
As we set forth in our report, we received reports from people who had suffered experiences that went back many years, and so our finding was that it did include information and reports during times that covered prior chairs as well.
And did you hear from any employees about any differences between the leadership of prior chairs and Chairman Gruenberg's leadership?
Our focus was on the reports of incidents that they experienced and their experiences with respect to the workplace culture. As we note in the report, their experiences with respect to workplace culture we found were long-standing and deeply ingrained, I believe is the word that we use. So that led us to a number of the recommendations as well as the findings, but we found in terms of the workplace culture issues that it was something that was long-standing and not attributed to a particular chair.
Okay, in your review, do you recall employees reporting encounters with Chairman Baer or Chairman McWilliams where the employee described those chairmen as being unprofessional, aggressive, or hostile?
As I said, we were not focused on
That's yes or no. Do you recall anybody in your review?
we do not recall anyone using those words.
Anybody say they were disrespected, disparaged, treated unfairly by those chairmen? Yes or no?
Not in the context of hotline reports, but in the context of discussing experiences with prior chairs. There were some who had noted that the former chairman, Sheila Baer, could at times be difficult as well.
Okay. Director McKernan, yes or no, should Chairman Gruenberg step down immediately?
Congressman, I think that's a decision for our elected leaders, but what I would say we do need a fresh start, and the sooner the better.
So yes.
We need a fresh start sooner rather than later.
I'll take that as a yes. Isn't it true, shifting gears, isn't it true that when Silicon Valley Bank failed, it was not considered one of the large U.S. banks? In fact, it was not one of the top 10 largest banks in the U.S. at the time. And because of its comparatively small size, you understand that many of us on Capitol Hill have called into question why the systemic risk exception was invoked for Silicon Valley Bank. Many businesses in the tech industry had their money on deposit at Silicon Valley Bank, correct? Correct? Yep.
That's me, yes, yes.
And you understand that in most instances, their deposit accounts held far in excess of $250,000, correct?
That's my understanding.
Those politically connected companies would have lost lots of money without the systemic
Gentleman's
risk
time has
exception,
expired.
correct?
Gentleman's time has expired. The gentleman from Iowa, Mr. Nunn, is now recognized for 5 minutes.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Without objection, would like to yield my colleague from New York time required to finish his question.
Thank you.
Gentleman is recognized.
You agree those politically connected companies would have lost a lot of money without the systemic risk exception, correct?
The board of the FDIC voted unanimously for the systemic risk exception. I think as Director McKiernan had noted in prior testimony, there was a lot going on at that time which supported that decision.
Okay. When the systemic risk exception was invoked, it was announced that everyone's money would be safe and insured, correct?
Again, the board decided unanimously to invoke the systemic risk exception.
Okay, and you're aware that the depositors base for Silicon Valley Bank included people from outside America, including significant Chinese interests, correct?
The purpose of invoking the systemic risk exception is to ensure that the financial stability of the United States is protected. And the board voted unanimously to do that.
Did companies with significant Chinese interests benefit from this decision?
Again, the decision to invoke the systemic risk exception focuses on protecting the financial stability of the United States.
Lastly, are you aware of any policies or directives within the FDIC regarding the treatment of Chinese depositors at Silicon Valley Bank?
I'm not aware of that. I have to get back to you on that.
Okay, thank you.